Hi everyone, welcome to Workshop Wednesday. Today I have a fun project for you and I'm using the bundle textured notes. I didn't want to do any more Halloween for a bit since I have had my retreat. I've been cutting those and getting those packed up, just waiting for the product to come in. And a reminder, I have our August, let me put my glasses on. Oh, much better. Our August sweet sampler, which we're using the spooky Halloween as well. So let me go over it with you because registration for this ends on August 24th, which is this Sunday. Boy, this month is going by quick. So for our sweet surprise for this month, you're going to get a half a package of the Spooky Sweet Designer Series paper. I have it all packaged in this giant like Ziploc that I always put all my stuff in. So this paper is so fun to work with because look, all these die cuts saves you on stamping. I have a note to myself. I've already used the fairies on one of the projects, so the fairies are missing, so don't go and give that to you. You're going to get the 12 pieces of cardstock that coordinate, 2 of each color, which are basic black, daffodil, delight, granny apple, green, petunia pop, pumpkin pie, and we give you the 2 basic white as well. So that's the 12 pieces. You're going to get a half a package of the sparkling foam stars. If you add the bundle to your kit, you'll get the full package of these foam stars. And you're going to get you're going to get 10 of the iridescent bags. These are so fun to work with. Easy. You could use those tags. Just put something inside those bags. Use the tags from the designer series paper. And then you're going to get a package with, there's actually 3 project packets in here. And let me show you the projects. So here's one of them. And so you can see this is where I used my fairies. There's the 3 fairies that are missing. So this is one of the projects. This is another project. And then here is another. So inside that packet, you have all the supplies, minus the designer series paper, because you're getting the designer series paper to, you know, create your project. And then plus the little fairies would come out of your designer series package as well. So you get all of this plus shipping, the PDF tutorial, which I have a tutorial here for your 3 projects, and a sweet surprise gift from me. So if you have any questions, let me know. I am, it's $45 to go. If you're local here in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, you could pick it up on my porch for $38. So if you have any questions, let me know. Mine, my kits come all packaged, like I said, in this giant Ziploc bag that I have here. And then, obviously, to ship it, I'll put it in something that's going to protect it. So that's the #1 reminder, because Sunday is the last day to register. And as always, you can share my video. When you share my video, comment that you shared my video. You can share it here on Facebook or YouTube. And like I said, just comment. And this week I have it's 3 different embellishments for you, an embellishment packet that's going to be the prize for this week. And if you join my email, if you're already on my email, you're going to get this on Friday. But if you want to get a free project tutorial with the step-by-step instructions every Friday, join my email list. I'll have the links listed either in the comments on Facebook or on below on YouTube. And if you want the new holiday catalog, I can't show you the inside, but there's some fun stuff I've already been playing with. If you want a catalog, just let me know and I will get one out to you. You can email me at lcdesigns1-Comcast.net or you could comment below. I will read the comments, and like I said, I'll get one out to you. All right, let's go ahead and start with today's project. Okay, so let's get started. So here is our box, and it's a box that has a card attached to it. So I'll open the box, and I just have some snack mix. Now I get these at Trader Joe's. It's, I know Target sells the little packages of trail mix, and they'll fit in here. I was gonna go to the store today, and I just didn't get a chance. My bow is so small because I've untied it once, and when I retied it, I didn't tie it right, so I didn't mess with it again. But this is a card that opens. Let me show you one. This was my first one that I kind of started. But instead of untying it, look, I'll slip it off. But see, you could tell it's different. This was my original, and it's gonna open like this, and you can put your little message inside. So ours is gonna look different from this one, but this is the idea. So we are going to start out with some early espresso. I have not used early espresso in a long time. So we are gonna need, so you can actually get 2 of these boxes out of 1 piece of cardstock because it's 8.5 by 5.5. So 5.5 is half of our 11-inch sheet. This side is 8.5 already. So like I said, you can get 2 boxes. I'm gonna get my Simply scoring tool because we're gonna score. And I like to do this when I have a lot of score lines. All right, so we're gonna score the long side, which is the 8.5-inch side, at 1, 3 3/4, 4 3/4, and 7.5. And then we're gonna turn it, and it doesn't matter which way you turn it, it's still gonna be the same. We're gonna do the short side, which is a 5.5-inch side, and we're just gonna score it at 1 and 4.5, which is each 1-inch section. So even if you did 1 and you wanted to turn it and do 1 again. So 1 and 4.5. So that's all of our scoring. So let me move this over this way. And we're gonna burnish all of our lines. Is everybody all settled in with the kiddos back to school and everything? You might not have any kids in school like me. Now it's the grandchildren. My granddaughter's getting ready to finish her first year of medical assisting. Okay, so there is our box, and all we're gonna do is cut up the long side score line. So we're gonna cut. I wish I still had little ones. You know, that's kind of how I first got into crafting. I was making scrapbook for my kids, and then I got involved in every PTA position at school. I always helping the teachers, always volunteered. So I'm gonna go ahead and now kind of angle each of these. These are gonna be our tabs. So yeah, I pretty much held every position available on the PTA because I had 3 children going to school back to back to back. All right, so we're gonna just do this on all 3 tabs, or 6, I should say, 3 on each side. And these don't have to be perfect. I can see my score line here needs a little bit more trimming. These don't have to be perfect. I think I'm gonna have to probably end up trimming that again. Let me grab my glue holder, my clothespins. So we're gonna so in my instructions, it's gonna say adhere 4 tabs into the large section. So these 4 tabs are gonna go into this one section. Just so when you get the PDF, you're like, what is she talking about? And I do, I believe, say refer to the video so you know what I'm talking about. But I'm pretty sure you guys have been following me long enough, you know which tabs are which and what I'm talking about. So a little glue, you know, goes a long way, especially when you get it on your hands, because then it's hard to get off. But we got these 4. And then now the other 2, I say, go into the other large section. So there's only 2 tabs left. And this is going to be our lid. That's where these little clothespins are the best thing ever. I've been using them for years. I see a lot of other crafters are using them now. Uh-oh, I have a broken one. And that's our box. We're going to let that dry. And then we're going to cut our designer series paper. So this designer series paper, this is another I have not used in a long time. It's woven textures and some beautiful, look at that. I like that one a lot. But you know, there's always 2 sides and they have some amazing, but I chose this one. And this one, okay, you guys help me out here. What would you call this pattern? I called it gunny sack. I wasn't sure if it was linen. It kind of reminded me of a potato sack. I didn't know what to call it. So in my instructions, it says gunny sack. So let's get the trimmer, and we're going to need some 7/8 inch pieces, because we're going to, so 7/8, and then we're going to cut at 3 3/8. So we need 2 of those, 3 3/8. 3 3/8, which is 2 notches before the half, before 3 1/2. Okay, and then we need 2 5/8, which is 2 notches after the half. So after the 2 1/2. So 2 5/8, and then 2 5/8. Perfect. Look at that. So we have those 4 strips. Now we're going to need a piece for our card. So I'm going to cut that now, and it's going to be 3 1/4. 3 1/4 by 2 1/2. So you know what? I got the trimmer. I'm going to need the same size for the inside the card. So what was it again? 3 1/4. Since I have the trimmer, then we don't have to redo it again. By 2 1/2. That's going to go on the inside. Okay. Crumb cake. I do have some pieces here. Crumb cake, I need a 1 by 3. 1 by 3. And then we're going to score that at 8 inch. You know, maybe I shouldn't do this because then it might confuse you. But let's just, I'll set that aside, and then we'll do the other trimmings that we need after, because I don't want to cause confusion because I'm doing the box and the card. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. Let's go back to our box because this should be all dry. And let's put our snack mix. This is my favorite snack. It's got almonds, cranberries, cashews, really no chocolate in there. Of course, I love my chocolate, but see, I knew I was going to have to trim this little corner because when I did it, I didn't do it correctly. When I told you guys I was going to have to trim again. So we're going to adhere our pieces. So I don't want to call this the front and the back. If you're opening the box this way, yeah, but our box is actually going to go this way. So the longer pieces are going to be on the sides, and then the shorter pieces are going to be front, back. Make sense? Normally I would have called it the other way if we're doing it the other way, but because of our card, the direction of our card, our box is opening from right to left. So there's that piece. These are all those 7/8 inches pieces. So again, what would you guys call this pattern? I called it gunny. I just couldn't think. I think I called it gunny sack. At first I put woven, and then I'm like, oh, all the other ones are kind of woven patterns. And look, even the back side is like woven or like a basket. I don't know. I think it's called Woven Textures is the designer series paper. Right, I already forgot what it's called. Yes, Woven Textures. So, all right, so I didn't add a piece of designer series paper on the top. You could, but our card is going to cover it. So you could tell on my first one, I did, look, I put one underneath, but the card is covering it, so you don't really need it. So this is the piece that we cut for the front of our card. This is for the inside of our card. So let's get to our card. Okay, so our card, we're gonna do it in crumb cake. And we are going to go 3 3/8. So 2 lines before the half, before 3 1/2, 3 3/8 by 5 1/4. And then we're going to score this at 2 5/8. So 2 after the half, after the 2 1/2, and there's going to be our card. So we just fold that in half at our score line. And where's those pieces? We're going to add our designer series paper to the front. And then I think I need to, maybe I need to open that box up after all so we could see what the card says. Or my instructions should show what the inside looks like. That way, there's my instructions. So we're going to stamp on this piece. We're going to stamp thank you. And then that was another thing. What would you call this? I called it textured because, again, maybe it's woven, but I just wanted to add a little something. So we're just going to stamp this at the bottom. And we're using Early Espresso ink, and then we're going to stamp thank you. Just like so. And that is it with our Early Espresso ink. So now we can put that inside our card. Okay. Just like so. And then now we need our little magic flap. So see, if you put this on, you're going to have just a little border of the Early Espresso. But now here's our flap. So this was the 1 by 3 and we scored it at 1. So you want to place your flap wherever you want to put your ribbon. So originally, this one, I put it towards the bottom. If you want it in the center, like this one, this was the original card I showed you. If I could squeeze that back on there. And I had done the thank you on the front instead of the inside. But again, it's wherever you want it. So see, this one is more towards the center. This one is more towards the bottom. It all depends where you want to put your ribbon. And I state that in the instructions. So we're going to hold on to this for a second. Let's move that aside and let's die cut our rectangle. So, again, this is the textured notes. We've used this stamp and this stamp. And then they have all these fun rectangles. So I'm taking the third to the smallest, what I'm calling the third to the smallest, out. We're gonna use this stamp. So we're gonna die cut this in basic white. And I think I already have a piece of cardstock for that. And let's bring our cut and emboss back in here. And I mean, I liked it in the center, but then it's, again, it's, I don't know, personal preference. Like, you could do it either way. You could do it the way I originally did it, or you can do it how you like. Do you like the thank you in the front, or do you like these? This is only one set of leaves. So I'm going to show you what I did for my leaves. And I'm going to grab this scrap piece of paper. And we are going to use Timid Tiger. So for the leaves, what I did is I kind of put them more down than on top, where this one, you see it's up top, because I was leaving space for thank you. So this is going to come down, and we're going to stamp it once. And did you know that the longer you hold your stamp down, that the ink, the paper absorbs the ink, so it comes out a little darker. So we're not going to re-ink. We're just going to stamp again so that it's lighter, and then stamp again so that it's lighter. These are really light, but I think it's because I was showing you about but it's okay. So it's light, because I was showing you the longer that you hold it, the more ink gets absorbed, so the darker it is. So there is our leaves. So now back to our card. So this pretty much fits the whole distance. If I want my ribbon to go across here, I can put it there. If I want it to go more towards the bottom, I put it here. So understand, I'm gonna go with where I have it right now. So we're just gonna add some glue right here. Oops. Hopefully that doesn't squeeze and hold my card together. Okay, and so now we're gonna add some glue here to add our rectangle. Oops. Okay, I always put my glue away because I have trouble with glue. Okay, so now we're going to use some Timid Tiger ribbon, and we're just going to tie it into a knot. So kind of line it up in the back at your little flap. I called it a flap. And then we're just gonna, like I said, just tie it in a knot. And I'm going to get my tweezers for my other set of fingers. And I might have cut this, or I might have did this too short again. Usually I'm way long, and now I'm going way short. So it's a little tiny knot. Tiny, tiny, tiny. I should have cut it a little bit longer, but I'm gonna move that over. And then now, so they're gonna have to untie their bow to open their card. And then to get into their snack, they can just flip it open. So now, actually, I'm not using glue on this. I'm using dimensionals, because that way the ribbon can come off as well. Are you a lots of dimensional person, or the fewer dimensionals the better? I don't use a lot. I like to put them just in the corners, I've seen people where there'll be one here, 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 here. They use so many. I was like, dimensionals is a pretty solid adhesive. So there is our box, so they can open their snack. And I'm sure there's other things that'll fit in this box. You could put a bracelet in this box, you know, a set of earrings, whatever you like. So now I'm going to use the In Color pearls to add onto our tag one. And let's do the medium. And then there is our box. So see how easy that was? I'm going to retie this one. But you could already see how much darker this is because I wanted to show you about holding it and see the difference. And that's why these came out light, because more of the ink came on there. But that's it. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you next Wednesday. Take care, everybody. Bye. Oh, don't forget to hit like or share or subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. Okay, take care, everyone. Bye.